Hey everyone, welcome back to Baggies Out and our coverage of the 2024 U.S. Nationals in Longview, Texas. Start off with everyone going into briefing here, and we'll take a look at where the overalls are currently. And in first place right now, we have Blake Aldridge, Corey Bloom leading up in second, Richard Sabin in third, Nick Donner in fourth, and Brandon Bloom bringing up in fifth. And the tasks that we had for today were a minimum distance double drop, a fly on, a Gordon Bennett, fly on, and then a Hez waltz. So first we'll go into the minimum distance double drop. So the double drop here, I think a lot of people ended up sort of bailing out on this because the wind line kind of didn't allow for everything to get hit.
Yep, the winds kind of kept changing throughout the whole morning, and most people just kept chasing it more north. And these guys got off real quick and early, and they were able to make it into this. But the vast majority of us weren't able to get here, so we ended up pretty much skipping this whole task and going with the fly on and then straight to the Gordon Bennett. Cameron did an awesome job here, coming in at 7.3 meters on the minimum distance.
Good result there.
Yeah. You can see Alan, he's starting to drop all the way down to the surface, try to get as much of that left turn when he comes down.
I suppose really looking at it, like I'm sure it didn't help their scores to miss out on the Gordon Bennett. The Hez waltzes, I don't know, were they able to get to the Hez waltzes, or did everything kind of get pushed off for them if you went for here?
I think if you went for here, your Hez waltz chances were basically zero.
Okay.
Because my group was kind of one of the later ones in the air this morning, and we ended up being the closest to the Hez waltz, but that's just because the winds have shifted so much. But yeah, we were still 1.5 K away from the target. So
really not great morning for anyone to get to the Hez waltzes.
No, definitely not. It was just ended up being a digital task. So, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah. So you got Dan Roysh and Blake Aldridge coming in.
Yeah, and so what they're trying to do is there's basically 4 quadrants that are out there, and they're trying to throw a baggie in each or a baggie in one triangle or a quadrant, and then one in the opposite quadrant, and get a score that way. So they're going to total up the 2 distances and see who is the shortest distance. So you can see Dan just threw and got a 25 meter. Blake's doing a little bit of a wind up. And not sure what happened there, but
yeah, maybe overthrew it a little bit. Looks like it may have gone into he probably threw it into the quadrant furthest from us where we're looking, and then in the next one to that. It's too bad. Or actually, maybe I think he got the second baggie into this quadrant closest to us, it looks like. Probably be a tough throw for Amanda from where she's at right now.
Yeah.
Because she's more on the left-hand side of all the quadrants, so she'd really have to chuck it to get over there. A task like this, you really just want to get a score, because with a limited scoring area anyways, you're not going to get a ton of results anyhow. So
yeah, and you can see that because you only got 3 scores. Even the worst score on that one was 963 points. So
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So you don't have to be super close to the pin on that one to get over 900.
Yeah, and everyone that didn't go there didn't really lose out on too much because the pool points were 763. So even the difference between that and first place, little less than 300 points. So didn't really hurt too much in the long run would be the idea.
Exactly. And so next up, we got the Gordon Bennett Memorial. This one is kind of behind a school, and the scoring area is all the concrete, basically the road, and then the grass area, the little island strip there that you can see. That's all in the scoring, and you want to be as close to the X as possible.
But without actually being on the X, because that's out of bounds.
Yep, exactly. According to the rules today.
Yeah. Or according to the rules for this particular task.
Yeah. So, but most of these guys actually were coming in pretty slow. I mean, there's a little bit of speed there, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
And later on, if they can get below the trees, they were really slowing down.
Good opportunity to time out your throw real well.
Yeah, that was a pretty tough throw. I mean, he's about 100, a little over 100 feet doing a wind up throw. Like that's not easy to do on a Gordon Bennett. Richard Saban there doing awesome at 8.9 meters.
Good drop right there. AJ Nell's coming up.
Nice.
Good throw there too.
You can see the scoring area behind, or the scorers and the crowd on the far side.
Mark Sullivan creeping out through the trees.
Yeah, that's the only bad spot. These balloons are basically hidden until they come over the treetops.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's a little bit trickier to come into a target whenever it's hidden like that, where you can't like see it from a distance?
Oh yeah, it's. I mean, at that point, you're just flying off the computer and hoping that they put it
kind of where they said they would.
Where they said they would, and where you're gonna actually cross. So versus if you can see the target from,
Paul Petron with a good windup, almost ended up out of the curb, but luckily got it just outside or inside the curb.
Yep. Joe Hartzell doing his windup. Looks like he's going to play nice and safe there and just get a score on the island.
Yep.
It's pretty much what you want to do with these tasks that are like this, where it's difficult. The scoring area itself is difficult, right? Because it's a odd shape. It's on the concrete or it's not. And,
another limited scoring, so you're either in or out.
And so you know that you don't have to be right up to the X to get a good score. You just need a score. So playing it safe like that is always a good option in my book. You can see Rhett pulling on the vent line a little bit there to release some of that heat as he was putting in to slow down, and he's pretty much stopped.
Just pretty much stalled out, which can be equally bad for flying a task like this, because you want some amount of movement, so you keep moving towards the target.
Yeah, I mean, you get that quite a bit in Albuquerque, and I mean, what do you like to do in those situations? You just kind of creep back up, or you just like
I'll usually I'll creep back up. It kind of depends on Albuquerque. I feel like it's maybe a little bit different because it's a little bit more shifty a lot of the time, so I may hang out on the deck a little bit longer and see if it nudges me back over there. I think in a place like Longview, I'd be less inclined to wait for that to come back and push me if I'm down low like that. I'd probably just think that it's gonna keep being slow like that. I'd also, because I know that tests for places like Longview are a little bit more spread out too. So I think getting the speed and just getting the task over with is probably better than creeping over to get a little bit, better of a score.
Yeah. Here comes Corey Bloom, and he's kind of doing a more traditional approach where it's kind of a steep descent into the target area, which I find to be the best option in most cases.
Yeah. Usually, as long as you can smooth it out so you get an opportunity to kind of actually throw like that, like,
Yeah.
whoa, like
Off the
Corey
curb.
bounced off.
Yeah, that was just a couple inches from being a not so good score.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and he's even talking to the scorers about bouncing off the curb.
Yep. Went a little almost too greedy, but worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, Brett Christian making his throw. It's going to be a good throw. 18 meters.
Matt Fenster coming in. A little high, kind of.
Pulling on the vent line a little bit.
Baggy out. Ooh, just inside.
Yeah.
Nice throw from Ken right there.
Again, just going for that middle area, not risking anything, and just taking the points.
Yeah, I think really on almost any task, but really a task like this especially, it's best just to take your points, go home.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of stress that gets relieved once you're like I didn't crush that, but I got a baggie in the scoring area. Like it's just like one less thing to worry about. And
yep.
And we got Scott Armstrong throwing from high, and he's got a good baggie out. And
nice. Looked like his baggie got pulled over a little bit with the wind too.
Yeah.
Gary Heaven looks like he's coming just about on that left-hand side, kind of more towards the middle almost.
Yep, and he's gonna vent again, drop a little lower,
burn off some speed.
It's looking good.
Nice.
19 meters.
So coming in, like, if you have to adjust, right? So, like, Gary didn't have to do it so much there, but then Rhett had to go up to adjust. Where's sort of your point of, like, you don't want to adjust anymore? You're just going to take what you're getting and not sort of try to mess with it?
It's kind of just all I'm feeling. Like, if I'm going to the target, like, I'm just going to hold. And somewhat like, if I know I'm going to go up and go further away, like I'm going to try not to do that. Right. So even if I'm not going to go right at it, I'm going to try to be in the layer that's taking me the closest. So,
right.
And if it's real slow like that, I tend to lose a lot of patience, and that's kind of a struggle of like, I'll start getting into those wins that like I shouldn't be,
Yeah. Well, like, I guess so. Dang, Todd is just going right for that.
Yeah. Just a few feet off the ground, he's just gonna lay it right down on the concrete there.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That is crazy. Like, he just went right for it, and now he's just took a right-hand turn. Like,
Yeah. And that's Longview wins. I mean, they're on the
Yeah.
surface, they're gonna switch constantly. So that's awesome.
Dang. So Corey came in first, and Todd, that we just saw, second place on that one. So Corey made it work out with that curb shot.
Yeah, he did.
Richard Saban, and then Joe Zavada, and then Ken Drawn bringing it up. So you see all the, like, I think all of those people, a lot of them were really in that center area. So no one particularly killed it for that task.
No.
So that's all we have for this one. No one managed to make it to the Hez Waltz. It was all electronic scores on that one. Thank you again to all of our patrons. We appreciate all your support with what we're trying to do. If you'd like to support us, head over to baggiesout.com/Patreon.